Hello friends. It's been a long time since I've recorded a sit-down video. Really long time, but I'm super excited to sit down and film one today. So over on Instagram, if you're not following me, you should. I'll put my handle here on the screen. I asked, what are your decorating questions? So hopefully in this video, you get a few tips, a few tricks, a few ideas, and yeah. If you are new here, and many of you are, make sure you click that subscribe button, join this community. It is probably one of the kindest corners on the internet. So feel free to join us. Without any further ado, I'm going to jump into all of our questions. How do you get your decor ideas? So I will actually start looking for my ideas towards the end of December. I kind of don't follow the trends as much because like right now it's all the Ralph Lauren. And oddly enough, before that was even a thing, I was already thinking about doing a really deep burgundy and a dusty French blue, except down here. Down here is all white, gold, and silver. But I just kind of go with what I like. Sometimes I do peruse Pinterest a little bit, but oftentimes it just starts with a color story of something catching my eye throughout the month of December, a color that I'm like, oh, I like that. I actually already have an idea for next year, but if I tell you, I think you'll be like, what? I'm thinking of doing something with orange. It's not a color that I think we equate with Christmas. I have a color combination idea brewing in my head. The reason I try to come up with my color combo now is because I take advantage of things being on sale, particularly ribbons, because I think you can change out your Christmas decor almost every year by just changing your ribbons and a few ornaments. It's actually shocking how much I actually reuse each year. I think you guys just think it's new because it looks different, but I actually pull out the same things often every year, but just with a few minor tweaks, you can make it look completely new and fit in with a completely different theme. I have a matte black dining room table, 2 battery powered table lamps, not sure on a centerpiece. I think there are a couple things you could do. I love lamps on a dining room table. I think they are so stylish. I was actually looking for one for my own. I think there's a couple things you can do. Anchor the center part with a tray and just a bunch of pillar candles and greens. And if your table lamps are round, which I'm assuming they are, go with a rectangular tray because you want to break up. If they're circular, you don't want another circle tray. So try to think about shapes and do the opposite. But I think a long rectangle tray with different height pillars and greens with 2 lamps on each side would be stunning. I think that's just like an easy way to go. Or I would just do one vase of like a beautiful Christmas floral with 2 lamps on each side. Any recipes in your cookware? Actually, we're gonna be cooking a lot during Vlogmas. This is the first year I've really planned out Vlogmas content, and we're gonna be cooking a lot. But you know, almost any vlog that I make is going to have me cooking in it at some point. It's a passion of mine. I remember just standing in my kitchen with my grandma, and my go-to cookware is Le Creuset. I've done the caraway pans, which I love as a pan, but I find myself using pretty much a Le Creuset Dutch oven for everything. Whether I start browning meat in it, I just use it over and over again. I just think they're so multi-purpose, and they are only getting better with the years that I've had them. Some of my pieces now I've had for 15, 16 years, and they're phenomenal and only better with age. They are worth the investment. As we were moving, I found those were the only pieces I was really passionate about keeping, and in all honesty, they are costly, but I'd rather have one good thing that I can use for multiple things than a bunch of cheaper things that probably, when all said and done, add up to one Le Creuset Dutch oven. What store do you mainly shop at for Christmas decor? Ooh, I don't really have a particular store. I never kind of go with like one store in particular. I just go by things that I like. There are some higher end things that I've bought at our house or Restoration Hardware or Pottery Barn CB2, but then I also find just as good stuff at Target, Walmart, Michael's, but I don't narrow myself down to a particular store. I will link some of my favorite stores for ribbons though, because I buy those online and I am particular about my ribbon and my ribbon brands because it really does make a difference. So I'll link some of my favorite ribbon stores down below for you because that's where I think I'm the pickiest. It's so funny you mentioned this because I was actually just talking to my friends about it. I kind of regret that I don't have a Christmas collection. I wish I had something collected over time and all of those pieces. My sister got a couple things from my grandma, but there really wasn't much left that we were able to take as far as Christmas decor. My mom has a few pieces that I know my sister and I will share at some point. But I think that is when I'll actually start collecting, but I don't really I have everyday items, but not really Christmas items. Like when you walk around my house, I can say like, oh, that's from my grandmother. I keep a stool that I used to sit in as a kid. I have pieces like that, but not like particular Christmas items specifically. But I wish I did. There's something about a collected tree of ornaments that I just love, but it just was nothing, that just wasn't something I did. How do I store all my decorations? So this house has lots of storage. I have storage closets on our lower level. I have an attic, a full attic upstairs. I keep everything in categories. So like all candle holders would go in one bin. All garlands would go in one bin or multiple bins, however I need. All ornaments that are round would go in. All statement ornaments would go in a bin. And then I keep all of my bins clear. The reason I keep them clear is because as I'm switching out themes for each year, there are certain things that I want and some things I know I'll keep in storage. So with that, I will be able to look and see, and I don't have to open every single bin lid. That drives me crazy. I've tried pictures on bins. That just never works because it's too confining and you feel like you have to switch out the pictures every year because you put things in different areas. But I categorize and then clear bins only. And I always try to find a bin that has a little bit of height on the lid and doesn't sit flat. Hefty makes a set of bins that you actually get like another inch or two from the lid, so you can actually fill up over the lip of the tub and then put the lid on. They are my favorite bins. They're clear, they have gray lids, but you get some lift so you can overfill, and those are hands down my favorite and typically what I use for all of my decor that's seasonal. Will you be doing some gift guides? Yes, I am. For those who have been following along, Abby from Breathe at Home, a small business I always supported when I lived in New York, we are actually doing a gift guide together. So stay tuned for that. We are actually going to get it to you before Vlogmas even starts this year. So stay tuned. A gift guide is coming. I'm super excited about it. We have been planning it and it's in the works. Will you be decorating the outside of your home? Are you hosting this year? Yes, Steven and I are hosting his work party and we're also including some neighbors in that. So we're hosting a Christmas party. The outside I did today, I'm actually filming a vlog. I don't show the outside of my house, so you won't see it. But this year I did, it matches the theme. It's a lot of burgundy and like deep wine red with kind of a mercury glass ornament and a big garland that I doubled the lights in, and I think I did 16 feet. The only thing I have yet to decorate is our gate. So we have a gate in our driveway, and I'll be decorating that. So as you look into our driveway, that will be decorated, and then the house is done. And then wreaths in every window, but those haven't come yet. But yeah, I did the outside. I actually was outside like being finicky and like moving a couple things, and people were walking by complimenting it. So I know I did a good job. I'm really pleased with how it looks. Could you keep including the simple dinners in your vlogs? I love it and it's great for the holidays. Yes, I will keep simple dinners in the vlogs for you. I actually might record a week of dinners. Let me know in the comments if you guys would be interested in just like a week of dinners. I know I did a night routine not long ago and you guys seem to really love that. But what if I just did one video that was 5 nights of my simple go-to dinner recipes? Would you guys be interested in that? Let me know and I will start filming that. Or maybe I could probably get that done before Vlogmas, which would be helpful going into the holidays. What holiday parties will you be hosting this year? I already shared that. So as you know, now I live with all my family, and it's really like the small little things. Like today I texted my mom, I was like, hey, can you keep an eye out of this if you see it at your store? And to be able to say that to my mom is something I was never able to do before. And it's like those little moments are better than the big. However, yes, we will be hosting, like I said, Steven's work party, some neighbors. I will host New Year's Eve. I did Halloween. My mom is hosting Thanksgiving, Christmas Day, and my sister's hosting Christmas Eve. So we kind of like alternate and shift, but I always take Halloween and New Year's Eve. And this year I might leave the house decorated just for Christmas for New Year's this year, is what I'm thinking. Last year I did it, well, I don't know. I'll probably redecorate the whole house for New Year's because we know me. So just curious, what do you do with all of the things from previous years that you don't use? Well, as far as like a lot of like the sit around things, I use those every year and just switch out a couple elements of it to make it match my theme. But really, when we moved this past, well, now almost 2 years, well, not quite 2 years. When we moved from New York to here, I actually got rid of all of my themes. Either friends took them, I gave some to other people, and we sold a bunch at the estate sale. I kept them organized and sold them by bin. And I only moved here with my foundation pieces and my foundation garlands and trees and stuff, but I sold all the themes. I gave some to people that I probably shouldn't have. And now I don't have them anymore, but I really either sold them at the estate sale, I've given them to friends, but I kept all my foundation pieces. So now I only have 2 years of theme. So I have this year's theme, and then last year at our house previous to this I did like a white and blue pottery with a chartreuse screen. I might bring that back for this house in the years to come, but I have that just stored in bins and up in the attic, and I have it stored based off of that. So the chartreuse ribbon is in there, the blue and white pottery pieces, any ornaments I bought for that, I kept that theme in there. I did label that bin, just the blue, I think I just wrote blue, white, chartreuse, just so I know like the colors that are in that one. And in actuality, that's how I might start storing my decorations, by color. So if I change a theme and I know I need like wine burgundy reds, I would be able to pull a wine burgundy red bin. Actually, that is what I am going to do. When I put away my decorations this year, and maybe I'll film that video, I'm gonna pull everything out and organize by color. That will make my life easier. Thank you for asking that question, because I just solved a problem and have a new idea of how I'm going to do it. What advent calendars did I get this year? Can I tell you, I am just like so content that I really like missed the advent calendar game. I got a Sugarfina because that is a Vlogmas tradition. I am thinking of ordering Stephen a David's tea. I got Mabel a little advent calendar, and then I got this really cool coloring advent calendar from Nordstrom that I loved. It was super reasonable. I'll link it down below. But I didn't buy any big luxury advent calendar this year. It just wasn't something that I was like excited about. I feel like the Diptyque one is the same every year. The Joe Malone is the same every year. Like, I mean, I just didn't feel the desire to order one. Who knows? I might grab one before Vlogmas, but right now I'm actually pretty happy. Oh, I do have like I think, is it a nativity or is it a Christmas house? I ordered like a simple paper one from Rifle Paper Company that looked really cute. But other than that, I didn't buy one of the luxury ones this year. This was probably the first year I just didn't feel the need or want. Do you theme your Christmas wrapping paper? I don't. I kind of buy my wrapping paper based off of the people. I have like my go-to favorite wrapping paper, so I keep the Nutcracker Rifle Paper Company paper at all times. I love this dried orange wrapping paper at Target right now. I think it's from Wonder Shop. It is adorable. It is dried oranges and like sprigs of greenery. If you watch my last video, I wrapped the pictures that I hung in that wrapping paper. I think it is beautiful. And yeah, I kind of buy the paper based off of the people and not so much my theme. I don't really keep gifts under my tree. I'll kind of wrap them and store them and grab them as I'm taking them to people. So I don't really feel the need to wrap based off of the theme. Where did your love of decorating come from? Since I was a little kid, I loved decorating, rearranging my room. I would get up in the middle of the night and rearrange my room. I once asked my mom to paint my room teal, the most heinous teal you could imagine. And you remember when wallpaper border was really big? I got a wallpaper border with frogs on it because I used to collect frogs. And I had a bright teal room with a frog wallpaper border. My mom was always decorating. My grandma always kept a really nice home. My grandma had the most amazing village that she would put on a big wooden platform under her tree, and she would set up this incredible village with trains. She used to get mad when I'd play with it because I would move everything around. But I loved that thing. I remember just spending hours looking at it and so excited. She used to have like little ice skaters that moved on a magnet on like a pond. What I wouldn't do to have my grandma's Christmas village. I don't even know where it ended up. I think she might have sold it in a yard sale at some point, but I would kill to have my grandmother's village. I think the houses were cardboard and you would wire lights into them. If you know what I'm talking about, like those old school like cardboard villages. She used to make like a hill with snow. Oh, that's a good memory. What are your most fond Christmas memories as a child? I think that one is one. I remember always going to my grandmother's house for Christmas Eve and just having such a great time. I remember Christmas Eve service. I used to always either sing at our church or perform. I remember I sang Mary Did You Know one year at our Christmas Eve service, and we would light candles. I remember getting home like from Christmas Eve, and our church did it really late. I feel like it was like 10 p.m. I feel like it was just very late at night, and going to bed and waking up the next morning. But yeah, I just remember like just family time. And I remember like the whole lead up to Christmas, my grandmother used to do what she called a hosting table. So in her kitchen, she would set up one long table with a tablecloth and cute napkins. My grandmother loved a cute napkin and themed paper plate. And she kept what she called her hosting table. So that table was just always filled with cookies and like little like treats that didn't need to be refrigerated. And then she would pull out like a relish tray or things like that. A relish tray, for those who don't know, typically is like pickles and like some cut up vegetables. I don't know if anyone else calls it a relish tray. It's what my grandmother used to call it. But she would have this hosting table and it would sit up like for 2 weeks because as people came, she just wanted to have it ready to go for hosting. It's such a fun memory. I can see exactly where it sat in her kitchen, and she just kept that table ready at all times for guests and company, and then would pull a couple things out of the fridge to add to it. But it was always ready to go. She would make sand tarts. I think my mom has actually made all the cookie dough already. So we're going to be going and doing some cookie baking over Vlogmas, but that's a really fond memory of my grandmother's like hosting table, just like time with my family. And I remember like do you guys remember, this is gonna be a throwback, do you guys remember those old, I think like local news stations used to run them, like Susie Snowflake, Hard Rock Coco and Joe, Frosty the Snowman. They were like old, tiny, black and white. They were almost like puppets, and they used to run like it was like one song and it would come on during a commercial break. Those are a core childhood memory. If you remember those, or you say relish tray, please put a comment because you are my people. Wreath for the front door. I don't know if this is a question or if I used one. I do have a wreath on my front door. I have my favorites. I will say a wreath on the front door is where I splurge, because I think it makes such a statement, and a good quality wreath versus one like you would grab at like a Home Depot or a Lowe's makes a really big difference. My favorite place for a wonderful pre-lit battery operated wreath is Grandin Road. I'm going to link some of the ones that I have that I use on our front doors of our house, because I think our wreath is really, really important. I think it makes a statement, and what's beautiful is you can invest in a really good one and then switch out ribbons, add different picks to make it look different each year, but your base foundation is so good. I will definitely link my favorites below. Would love to see you wrapping gifts. I am doing a wrapping day on Vlogmas, so you will see lots of wrapping gifts. What about guest and main bathroom? If you go to my Decorate With Me or any of my last vlogs, I actually talk about what I did for our guest rooms and actually show it. So go back to those videos and check them out. I give lots of ideas. I think it's keeping it really simple. If you can change out an art piece, change that out, add one garland, a really festive soap, and a vase of greenery. That's it. You can go to Trader Joe's and get greenery for, I think, $3.99 or $4.99. Throw that in a vase, done. And what's great is greenery will last you so long. I picked some out of my yard a couple weeks ago, and it's still going strong. What are some of my favorite Christmas songs? Well, I think one of the best Christmas albums that I think many people don't talk about is Joel's Joy, A Holiday Collection. It is still one of my favorite Christmas albums. A Face of Love is so good. Anything on Kelly Clarkson's Wrapped in Red or When Christmas Comes Around Again, so good. Those three are on constant loop. I think when I'm pulling out vinyl, I love Julie Andrews' Christmas. I love Barbra Streisand. I love Rosemary Clooney. That's actually what I played a lot this week while making dinner. I just love Rosemary Clooney music in general. The White Christmas soundtrack, I play that all the time. Some of my favorite singular songs. I am not big on All I Want for Christmas and the pop ones. I think there's a few that I really, really like. Actually, before I say it, let me go back because I've started building the Christmas playlist for the holidays. So let me go to my library. Let me find. I have my Christmas classics. I'm working on it. So I'm going to name some of my favorite Christmas songs. If you love them, comment. If you have not listened to it, go and get it. So Love Has Come by Amy Grant. Heirlooms by Amy Grant. Another Year Has Gone By, Celine Dion. A Christmas to Remember, Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers. Christmas Is by Francesca Battistelli. Also, Behold Him by Francesca Battistelli. Carolyn, like Carolin, not caroling, Carolyn, by Francesco Battistelli. Face of Love by Jewel. Hands, the Christmas version by Jewel. Christmas Is Here by J.J. Heller. Glow by Kelly Clarkson and Chris Stapleton. Blessed by Kelly Clarkson. Wrapped in Red by Kelly Clarkson. I mean, I could keep going, and I don't think you want me to. But I feel like I don't really love the real popular ones. Christmas Makes Me Cry by Casey Musgraves. Ribbons and Bows by Casey Musgrave. Yeah, those would be some of my favorites. Those are the ones that made my playlist. I have many others, but those are ones that I really, really, really love. Those are probably the ones that I go to all the time. Do you have any favorite seasonal books that you read each year? Not that I read each year. Yeah, I don't really have a book that I read seasonally. Favorite Christmas movies. Oh my goodness. I watch Little Women every year. The Winona Ryder, Clara Danes, Susan Sarandon version. One of my favorites of all time. I think it's such a good movie. Christmas Vacation. I always watch Christmas on the Square. I love all the other ones. Home Alone. I'm not an Elf person. I never watch it. I can't even tell you if I've ever watched the whole thing through. It never has been something that has attracted me. But Christmas Vacation, what are some other old Christmas movies? I love the one with Four Christmases. I love a comedy. Family Stone is one of my favorite Christmas movies. I watch it every year. I think it's so incredible. It's hard to get me to sit down to watch a whole movie, in all honesty. I'm always on the go. Best resources for artificial tree. Are expensive ones worth it? Yes. I think they are, but I think that answer is from a few years ago because I think people are catching up with them just as they always do. And I think now you can find really good trees for a really good price point. This one behind me, for example, was $150 at Walmart. It's my Texas home. I think it went viral and sold out. It's not the best ornament hanging tree because the branches aren't super sturdy because it's cypress. But I think people have caught up with them, but I will always say a really good tree is worth it. I had my Balsam Hill 10-foot tree forever. I've since donated it actually to work, and we use it every year there. I've had a lot of Balsam Hill. King of Christmas trees are really good. I've had the one in my bedroom that's King of Christmas for years. But I do think you can catch a lot of good trees now. My main tree in my living room is from Home Depot. It is, I wasn't a big fan of the Grand Duchess. I think the lights are way too blue. I ended up getting the Elegant, I believe is what it was called, with much warmer lights. And I think that was a really reasonable price point. I think it was like $300, $400. Comparatively to like a Balsam Hill tree where I think is like pushing 2,000. I do not recommend Frontgate. I've had really bad luck with Frontgate. Their customer service is great, but the lights burn out really quickly. I've had lots of issues with them. A whole section didn't light up when I got it. I do not think Frontgate trees are worth the price, but I've had really good luck with Balsam Hill. Grandin Road has really good trees. Yeah, but I do think you can get a really good tree for a different price point than you used to. I think times have changed and people have caught up with it. Do you decorate your front yard? Yes, we are going to decorate our front yard, and we're also going to decorate our backyard, I think, a little bit. I just want to get like at least a couple lights up, just so it looks pretty when you're looking back, especially since we're hosting parties and people here might like go stand on the deck because it's Charlotte, North Carolina, and it won't be freezing cold. But yeah, we do decorate our yard. Steve and I have been talking through it. Steven will typically do the outside decorating except the front door. That's kind of his jam. He's really good at like putting lights and trees and all of that stuff. Favorite outdoor decorations. I'm super boring. I am a warm white person all day long. I love a warm white light, and that is what I will go with, and I like it all to match. And if one strand of lights is slightly different, it will drive me bonkers. But I am a white light boring person. How long are your batteries lasting on your trees on your island? Honestly, a long time. I haven't replaced them at all because I forget to put them on a lot of the nights, and I'm really good at turning them off, and I only really have them on for like a few hours, like 2-3 hours, but I've just turned them off. I think that's my only bummer on my island trees is that they don't come with a timer. But like I said, I forget to turn them on most nights and they still look really cute, but I haven't changed out the batteries and they're still going really strong. I am so sorry, friends. My battery died, so I had to replace it. But we are towards the tail end of questions. What do you use to hang wreaths on windows and walls? I use command hooks. I like the ones that are clear with the one little wire loop. If I can find them, I'll link them so you know exactly what I'm talking about. I find those to be perfect, and I like that it's clear back so the wall color comes through, but I use a lot of command hooks. I am someone who will tap in a finishing nail, fill it when I need to, and then just do a little touch up of paint. That doesn't bother me at all. I love a finishing now. I think it's quick and it's easy. Where do you buy your ribbon? I'm gonna link some of my favorite ribbon shops and my favorite ribbon brands from Amazon down below. Is it hard to get in the spirit with no snow, warmer weather in Charlotte, North Carolina than New York? I don't think so. I actually just find the people down here so much kinder and like happier that it is so joyful, and I feel like Charlotte does a good job of decorating for the holidays and making it feel really festive. I haven't really missed it yet. I think only on like the actual day, like on Christmas Day when I'm like traveling to my mom's, I want it to be cold and I like might be just like in a button down. That will probably bother me a little bit more, but I find that like I enjoy being able to just like walk outside on a beautiful 60-degree sunny day. That just feels just as festive to me. Do you decorate a lot outside as well? I would say it's less. I like a minimal outside. I think like less is more with outside decorations, and inside I'm like more is more. I'm like one garland away from this looking like the North Pole pretty soon. But outside I kind of like it clean and simple, shockingly. I know that might surprise a lot of you. Have you ever thought about being a professional decorator and decorate homes for the holidays? Yes, I just don't know how to go about getting hired. If you live in the Charlotte area and you'd like to hire me, please message me. I would love to do that. I think I would enjoy it. Steven would like it too, because it means I would maybe decorate a little less here. I just find so much joy in decorating that I would love to do it for other people, because I would want other people to feel so good in their home at the holidays, and I think make memories in a home that I got to decorate for someone else would feel really special, and I want them to have the same feeling I get when I walk in my house this time of year. It just feels so incredibly special and makes me feel so lucky and I think I decorate more for almost that feeling than just like itself, but I love working with my hands. I love building a garland. I love like manipulating things and making them beautiful and like teasing them out and like figuring things as we go. Cause like during these last couple of weeks, like there's like little things that I'll tweak. I love that. I love it. And I would love to do it for other people. Name one decoration that you're over it. It's had its time. A decoration that I'm over. I don't know, because I don't really, like, what is something I would avoid? I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm over anything, because I think if it brings you joy, you should use it. Truly. I think if it brings you joy, you should use it. I don't think you need to be over anything. Just because I wouldn't use it doesn't mean that it, like, I'm over it. I just don't think there's anything that stands out to me that I'm over. I just think if you find joy in it, or it holds a memory or brings a memory, use it and enjoy it and love it. What was your favorite room to decorate in your new house? I really love decorating our casual living room upstairs with the 2 windows with the wreaths and the nutcrackers. That was fun. I found this space with you're actually sitting on it, but the round table and then this downstairs family room. This was a lot of fun to decorate. I just found this house, but I love decorating the split staircase. I love decorating this house. I actually told Steven I had the most fun. Last year when we moved in December, I didn't have time to decorate the way I wanted. It was basically get trees up and throw a garland up and not really add anything to it. And this year I really got to decorate the way I would want to. And it was a blast to decorate this house. I know you don't show the outside of your house, but what decorations did you do? So I did like a big asymmetrical garland with bells and like really big ornaments and ribbon weave through, and then big tall lanterns. I think I did 3 big tall lanterns, and then among those lanterns are little trees. And then going down the stairs is like some artificial greenery. But yeah, it's really pretty. And then on the gate, I'm doing 1 big swagged garland with a wreath in the center. I'm really excited about that. And then just white lights. And then wreaths on all of our front windows, but those haven't come in yet. And then I'm going to hang the windows. I'm going to hang the wreaths with command hooks on the window, but I'm going to loop ribbon and make it look like the ribbon is holding it up in the window, but actually it's going to be supported by a command hook. How do you know when enough is enough and when it comes to decorating? When is it too much? I'm at almost too much. I think one more thing will set me over the edge. But I do think I think it comes down to you. If you have a maximalist aesthetic, then enough is not enough. I think it just depends. Like I said, I think there are no rules for Christmas decorations. I think you just do what you love, and that's it. If it makes you happy, brings memories and joy, I don't care if you cover every square inch of every surface in your house. Basket that you have your tree in, I will see if I can link it. And this is a great tip and trick. So just because your tree came with a huge tree stand, just get on Amazon and measure the size that you need. I put that 7.5 foot tree on a 20-inch tree stand, and it's fine. And I set it in that basket because I knew a 20-inch diameter would fit in there. So there you can get another tree stand for a couple bucks. So throw your tree on a smaller stand to get it in the vessel that you want. I think that is well worth it. I think I paid $9.99 for a 20-inch tree stand, and then that basket is from Target. It's where I keep our blankets. I just put the lid in another closet, and I put the tree in that, and it's working so beautifully. So I will link that basket down below and the 20-inch stand that will fit in that basket. And then you can use that basket all year around for blankets. It's a fantastic basket. I love it. How do you get things to stay on your garland? I love a dark green pipe cleaner, 22 gauge florist wire. That's really it. I use pipe cleaners and florist wires. I find pipe cleaners are really good if it's lightweight. You need the 22 gauge florist wire if you really are going to put something with bulk in. So I would say that was the difference. With picks, what I typically use when I'm sticking a pick into a garland to build it out, If I'm going to gather and bunch a couple picks, I wrap those in florist wire and then snip it. And then I find a branch in my garland that I can wrap around the pick. I very rarely secure a pick into a garland with wire or a pipe cleaner. I typically use a branch because I'm gonna mold it and blend it in. Also with a pick, I'm gonna interweave all the branches, so it's gonna automatically hold itself in there. But like ornaments and things like that, or like a ribbon that I'm gonna like tuck, I'm gonna use a pipe cleaner or a little 22 gauge wire. Least favorite and favorite trees, mantles you've done. This is a great question. I actually saw this question pop up and I started thinking about it. In all honesty, I think this is one of my favorite Christmases I've ever done. I am so happy with it. I think one of my least favorites that I've ever done, I think I liked it for what it is, but I don't love it now. I'll see if I can throw a picture in here. Is if you have been a longer follower, I did like a vintage glam Christmas one year, and like had like these big birds in the tree, like wrapped gifts. I did the big garland around the mirror on the fireplace in New York. Yeah, I did like this vintage glam theme one year. I loved it at the time, but looking back on it, I don't love it. I think one of my neutral themes that I had, like the black reindeer and the big built out garland, once again, I'll insert pictures if I have them. That was one of my favorites as well, but this is one of my favorites for sure. But that vintage glam one, I would never do again. And looking back, I don't love it. But I love the shape of that garland on the mantle. And now thinking about how it could have looked so different, that makes me think, where is that mirror? I know we moved it. Just please tell us your favorite holiday scents that you use around your home. Fraser, fir, bonfire embers. I actually just made my own candles. You're gonna see that in a vlog this week. I would say top favorites, Fraser fir, clove, orange, smoky fire, embers, bonfire. I like a blue spruce. Essentially, I want my house to smell like a Christmas tree farm on fire, because I love like a smoky Fraser fir scent. All right, my friends, those are all of your decorating questions that I got. Well, not all of them. I couldn't possibly get to all of them, but I hope you enjoyed this video. It was fun just to sit down and chat. I haven't done it in a while. Like I said, if you are new and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And I'll end this video like I end all of them. Take care of yourself, take care of others, be kind. Kindness is free. Give it to everyone. Until next time, which will be very soon, my friends. Bye-bye.